You guys can go to the basement. Don't change what you're going to say for me. I don't want to.
We're going to be a total pisser.
I just like to laugh at you guys.
I enjoy laughing. Can I say, I don't want to go into everything. I'm not going to whore you out. I've been tempted sometimes to be like, Doug TenNapel said this about
no. You can ask me. You can ask me anything. I'm wide open about that.
Really?
I don't want to chill your stream. I don't want to chill your act. Is all. I like what you guys do.
Okay,
I can't go in. And when you're saying like Ethan raped a baby to death, I can't sit here and go, yes, he probably did. I can't. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to let you do that, and I'm not going to do that.
Wait. No, it wasn't Ethan who did that. It was Steven Spielberg.
I went when I heard that. I was sitting there with my headphones on, and Angie was watching me listen, and I was smiling. And you said that, and I go, "What?"
I think that was something Owen Benson said about Steven Spielberg. He was like, "Guys,
guys." That's a QAnon thing that Spielberg and Hanks were in the rape.
That's typical Hollywood minutia things. It's like, if you're engaged in Hollywood, you drink adrenochrome or whatever.
Yeah.
Like at some point, because Hollywood's obviously doing actual bad stuff, and all that does is discredit it. Then, I was talking specifically about how I suspect that everyone in War Campaign is so clearly guilty of a ton of crimes that you could just speculate they probably rape babies, and it's like, you don't know, they probably do. The funny
or if Liam Gray is going to be the standard.
We don't know what Liam Gray did.
No, but remember what he said about Fan Advocacy Network. The standard that he set is, I'm just going to accuse him of it, and it's the FBI's job to figure out if it's real or not. So you can say whatever you want and go, I'm using the Liam Gray standard of, I just put this out there, and it's the FBI's job.
But do I have to punch my mom in the face first?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Remember what you guys kill me.
Remember what De Gaulle said, though. Remember what De Gaulle said. Yeah. So anyway, the you didn't need the FBI. Nobody needed the FBI to figure out if that was false. The guy, that Renault guy, who's definitely completely cracked too. Yeah. He admitted that he just, somebody went with the name Fan Advocacy Network on Discord. I could change my name to Fan Advocacy Network on Discord right now and just start saying, I could change my name to Ethan Van Dyke and start saying things.
It's actually, it is Memorial Day. Remember what De Gaulle said. I just realized, because I was thinking about that. What did De Gaulle say? Oh, that's right. The graveyards are full of indispensable men. Today is Memorial Day. Now let's go back to talking about stupid ass comic books.
Yeah, this dumb. Let's get to the serious stuff of comics. I love comics.
Comics are serious business.
Yes,
I take them like it's like an act of war to me to draw comics.
Maybe we should engage in a campaign of war about comics. Let's get mad about comic books.
Hashtag
mad at comic books.
I'm just going to send this, and it's the FBI's job. If I say campaign war murders people, it's the FBI's job to look into it and figure it out. That seems reasonable.
Yeah, to figure out that they didn't. I guess.
Well, especially it's a good idea to implicate such a thing when somebody you already know is already being investigated by the FBI. Or other law enforcement
any law enforcement
right ahead.
So if somebody named Ethan Van Sciver just happened to be questioned by the police a couple days ago,
did EVS get questioned by the police? Because I'm iffy on the facts of that.
I don't know.
Kind of one thing and another, and I don't.
I heard that they had called. He may not have shown up at his house. But
I know, but come on. I mean, I can get the police to call any one of you guys. Is this hard evidence?
We can call the police on everyone. That's the thing is, I keep hearing that. It's like finally somebody's gonna. The FBI has been investigating Ethan Van Sciver. They got a file on him. We've heard that for months and months now.
Yeah, it's nothing. To be honest, all that stuff, I just hear other people talking about it, and I'm like, okay, cool. And that's it.
That's why I don't pay much attention to it, because I keep hearing it over and over again. It's like, let me know when they do something, and they never do.
Choo choo. Anyway.
So I called a sheriff on a YouTuber.
You did?
Yeah.
So we know of one.
Sheriff.
And how did that conversation go? Did he go like, really, lady, I'm supposed to go after a YouTuber, huh?
Yeah, I said, I know this is going to sound completely insane. And it's even more insane because it's about comic books.
In a way, it's like, I feel like I have to disclaim that up front when calling law enforcement, but at the same time, it's like, should I just not even mention it?
Yeah, on the one hand, you want to be like, yeah, you know. On the other hand,
did you have a moment at a pause at all, Vikki, where you go, "What am I doing?" Or were you like, "Are we like, I'm righteous indignation? Like, I got to throw in this report."
It wasn't righteous indignation. There was no. It wasn't like that. It wasn't some sort of vindictive thing.
Yeah. It's usually worse. It's like, if I don't do this, is anyone else even going to? And usually the answer is no.
Yeah, usually the answer is no. But I felt I had read, the statute, and
it made sense to you. It was good,
and it made sense to me, as far as I know, to go ahead and make the call.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense right from the beginning. It's like, isn't this illegal?
Without the law,
without be attacking somebody like this?
Yeah, you don't have to read the law. All you have to do is see Ethan's behavior. He's been attacking his own friends for years now.
I am good friends with Nick Rekeita. I can set you up with a phone call if you want to consult.
I don't know how much that's going to help.
I don't know. That sounds kind of worthless to me. No offense to.
But I didn't call my local cops, and it wasn't anybody in New Jersey. So.
I mean, didn't Nick? People asked him about the whole Ribbit coin thing, and he didn't really have anything interesting to say. He didn't seem to notice actual. The letter of the law. He didn't seem to pay attention to the law on that one.
Again, in defense of Ethan, doesn't he have to have known that it wasn't 97% silver to perform fraud? Don't you have to know
99.9?
Like, don't you have to have intent? That was my big question on that whole thing is, doesn't there have to be intent?
To be honest, I can speculate that he didn't know, but that just makes him look like a moron.
Yeah. It makes him look like he doesn't care about what he's actually doing. He was like, I'm going to sell these coins to the stupid because I don't even care that it's not silver. Only the law cares that it's not silver. All I cared about is that it was obviously a fake. It was, it's just an average 50 cent.
From my perspective,
paper printed on
the legal issue is the fact that he's trying to prevent other people from being allowed in the medium.
Yeah, he's actively attacking other people who are trying to.
That New Jersey statute.
That is my beef with him, by the way. Yeah. One of my beefs with him is the desire to control who's the winner and who's the loser on crowdfunding, which ought to be a wide open market.
Especially Tim Lim is the perfect example of this. Tim Lim just wants to be able to make comics. He wants to be able to draw some comics, and it's specifically Ethan Van Sciver who's like, you're not allowed to do.
Well, Ethan Van Sciver specifically began slandering Tim Lim. He's openly lying about Tim Lim and has been for years. And the thing is, Nick Rekeita sees this and just marks out for Ethan Van Sciver. He knows that fucking Ethan is guilty in that case. That Ethan is a liar and that Tim Lim hasn't done anything. But Nick just watches it and doesn't do anything, which on a mathematical level makes him.
Could Nick be? In defense of Nick, Your Honor, could Nick be just thinking like Ethan is a normal liar, just like everyone's a liar on the internet?
Is Nick Rekeita engaging in chicanery?
I don't know.
He's a chicanerous guy.
Possible. I mean, you have to pay pretty close attention to see what's going on. I don't know how close of attention Nick pays to what's going on with Ethan.
It's not like he's a lawyer.
Irresponsible.
It's not like he knows anything about the law or anything.
Personally, I would say
my thing with the law is he's allowed to be wrong. He's allowed to speculate and try things. And on the Vic thing, I don't know if we don't know if he's right or wrong on Vic. We don't know if he's right or wrong on Richard.
I mean, I don't care about Vic. I'm pretty sure Vic's innocent. Of course, he didn't rape anyone.
I think he's innocent, and I want him to win.
Yeah, but I guess that's not going to happen.
And Richard, I don't
Richard,
know.
to be honest, at this point, maybe deserves to lose.
But he doesn't come off to me as a scammer. He comes off to me as just a shy guy.
Well,
a stupid idiot,
a stupid dummy dumbhead. Who,
like I said, I'm gonna sit here and smile.
Yeah, you got nothing to say about that.
I have nothing to say. I don't know.
On the one hand, it's kind of like Joe Rogan, who's like he's so famous and he's so rich, he can't just have the CEO of Twitter on and be like, "You motherfucker, you're banning every." He can't do that because he can't afford to do that for the sake of his career.
Yeah, now he's going to make time in the tech industry. He has to be allies and friends with them.
But if he doesn't, everyone's going to be like, "Hey, Toe Rogan, you look like a toe. Why aren't you calling these people out?" Exactly.
But okay, let me get back to Nick real quick, though. I don't want to run this conversation to the ground or anything, but could it be my bigger picture of all these things is the last place anyone wants to be is in a lawsuit. That's my advice to Preston. That's my advice to EVS.
I would say Preston shouldn't sue. If it's an actual crime, which there are not only actual crimes, but I think beyond that, higher than there being crimes, is that there's moral failures, objectively a failure of morality.
I do. It just is just my opinion. I do think a crime was committed against Preston, but isn't it true that on every lawsuit case, and I really should be asking Nick this, isn't it true that you're not going to get justice unless you shop the right judge and get the right jury picked out of the right district? Like if you're going to do a sexual harassment case based on LGBT stuff, you want your case to be held, say, in Jersey and not in, say, Texas, because a bunch of Texans are going to go like, LGBT, who cares? And do not the lawyers pick their jury and dismiss the ones that seem to be X or Y, right?
It's like an optics war, basically. And
so that's my thing on Richard Meyer could win or lose. Vic could win or lose. Preston could win or lose. Anyone could win or lose depending on the judge and jury that you shop around. That's my low view of justice in America.
And it doesn't matter about who's actually right or wrong or if a law was broken or not. All it matters is, hey, what state are you doing this in? And at that point, it's like, oh, who gives a shit anymore? So that's why I kind of don't care about any.
And do you want to spend your life sitting in a courtroom, or do you want to sit at your table and frickin' write comics or put on your YouTube show?
Yeah, because that's something Ethan clearly isn't doing, and why anyone would make excuses for Ethan or Umbrella guy who is definitely fucking out.
Ethan doesn't want to do that, and also he can't afford to. Preston kind of can do both. He can do anything or nothing. He can make comics or he can not make comics. He can spend all his time in court or not. Ethan can't really afford to. Ethan has to continue the grift.
Well, that's all his life is about is YouTube drama. Whereas, Preston was making comics and he was like, hey, here's some really crazy shit going on. Here are some videos about it. And, I'm pretty sure with Preston, it's like, hey, this might get me, this will increase my attention, and therefore that can translate into sales. So, it's sensible in that.
It's actually, I don't want to even mention this, but we did speculate this already on our own Discord. This seems to have distracted people from the controversy of Preston, the porn movie leak. I mentioned already that it's like, I don't like this. This makes him look bad. People have already forgotten about it, though, because of this, though.
I had the biggest shrug on Preston, and I've had some people in War Campaign going, "Oh, you're a Christian," to do my eswC. You're a Christian. Go condemn, as if they think that's what we
believe me.
Damn these glasses, son. Okay, sir.
I'm waiting. I damn you. I'm waiting for that, though. With a lot of these people, I was actually expecting that with Doug himself. It's like, oh, he's a conservative Christian. I'm waiting for the no fun Christian fun governor to come out.
Fun governor. Tom TenNapel.
What all these people don't understand is that I see every single person as doing what Preston does. I think I condemn everyone.
Yeah, everyone looks at porn.
Every single person in that audience. I've been on Nick Rekeita's show, and they've said we beat off to porn. That is, we are cucks who literally look at someone else bang a girl and they sit there and they brag about it going, this right is holy. This is what the founders died for. Because they want our desire to do choke porn. And they're all going,
George
you're a
Washington
freak.
body,
Wanted to do something. And then here comes Preston, who puts a sexual toy in his mouth with little crap on it, which is what you're supposed to do if you're not going to have heterosexual, normal sex with your wife to reproduce, which is why God gave you sex. If you're going to judge that as anyone can do anything, and then Preston magically crossed a line by all these guys that are supposed to be edgy, do you realize?
And you saying that is somehow crossing a line too. It's like, oh, I can't believe Doug doesn't like porn.
He's not fighting for the white nationalist movement.
Yes. Yeah, save the race, Doug.
Now, all of these guys, anyone who raises a standard they will not set the standard and say, this is the standard we believe in. And this is what we will hold ourselves to it first. I want to know what the standard is by which you judge Preston for extramarital, kinky, trashy stuff I consider garbage, and then defend saying that a man banging another man, a man can bang another man in the holy sacrament of marriage. And Doug, you're a homophobe for coming out against that. You just now pulled your own pants down as a complete screw job. Anyone who says that against me, they're the ones who have a problem with a standard, not me.
It makes us all cucks. Looking at porn makes us all cucks, basically.
Yeah, all of you.
But
I don't watch porn.
Yeah. Oh, well, then you're the only one who.
You're not a man. You're not even a man.
You're not even.
If you were a man, Vikki, if you were a man, you would. If you were,
there is porn that is geared towards women, put out by women for women, and I still don't watch porn.
Yeah, it's called romantic comedy. Yeah,
oh God! See, I don't watch those either.
Rom-com.
There was the Twilight movies, and then there was like something beneath the Twilight movies.
Oh, yeah.
The 50 Shades of Grey one.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was a fanfic of the Twilight.
Again, series. Do women enjoy that more than men? I don't.
Yes, they do, and I don't know why.
You know what though? I also remembered is like watching porn makes everyone a cuck. I remember. Here's a wonderful reference. I remember in the '90s reading that book by Marilyn Manson. Hard Road Out of Hell. Yeah, and in the middle of it, there's just this really
great book.
He's Marilyn Manson was kind of surprised me. Was kind of a thinker.
Yeah, he was actually funny in that book, and he mentions like, here's things that make you gay, and one of them was if you masturbate and get cum on yourself, if you even touch it with your fingers, you're instantly gay. And in parentheses it says, this makes all of us gay.
Yeah,
and it was like that's pretty much how it works.
Yeah.
It's just no way around.
You're stroking a man. When you stroke yourself,
yes,
you're gay.
Masturbation, 40-year-old virgin.
And they're going, well, and this is the big thing in the Bible too, is when someone says, "At least I'm not that guy. At least I'm not Preston. I'm holy because I'm not Preston."
And then you do something that's
is a bullshit standard, because what Preston does or doesn't do isn't the standard. The standard is one man, one woman in the highest holy sacrament there is, and everything else is just getting the math equation wrong. There's 1,000 wrong answers to 2 + 2 equals. Mm-hmm. There's only one right one.
There's only the one correct one.
And everyone is just doing. And so Preston was embarrassed, obviously, by what he got flushed out. But let's get everyone's Google search history up, and we'll see what you guys do in private. Preston just had the misfortune of having his go public.
How about an eBay search history?
I have my medical bracelet saying to delete search history when I die.
Yeah.
But also,
I burn my computer.
Yeah,
my history deletes every time I close my browser. Yeah, I don't know about you guys.
That's usually how it should be done. One thing is that, by the way, Preston didn't also come out and say the porn from 10 years ago, I'm proud of it. Thank you, everyone. Look at it. He was like, yeah, it's not happening.
The culture war, and if you don't like it, you're part of the SJW. He doesn't do that.
Here's the other thing on standards, because the standard is based on what gets clicks and what gets drama. If Cecil, Malin, EVS, or Roe had the exact same video released of them.
Cecil? I don't know about.
All of Comicsgate would herald it as the most badass, awesome, moral thing they've ever seen.
And inclusive, and how they're friends of
all of that audience would, and they'd fund it. They'd say, how can you be so puritanical to judge this? Let him be.
You're not down with the book of
Jim Turner,
the Nephilim?
That's right.
Oh. Is the Nephilim? That's a reference to Diablo 3, of course.
Well, they got that from the book. It's from the book of Genesis 6:4, and then the book of Enoch really expands on the Nephilim. It's considered extra biblical, though it's kind of biblical.
Well, extra biblical, aka Jewish.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's Jim. Is it Turner?
Jim Turner.
Jim Turner always writes.
Wait, is it Tuner or Turner?
It's Tuner.
It's Tuner. Jim Tuner always writes pretty thoughtful stuff.
Yeah, usually his comments are the ones I pin.
Believe me,
he'll even write like giant novels and books, and I always go, "This guy writes pretty good."
Yeah,
people comment in our comment section for our videos.
There's a lot of insightful, interesting comments.
I don't need to hear from this, and then Jim Tuner will say something. It's like, oh, he's got a point.
Yeah,
he actually seems to know what he's talking.
He knows what he's talking about, unless he ever disagrees with me on something.
I've never heard of him. Who the hell is this Jim Tuner guy?
He doesn't even have a profile pic. But
how do we get him on? How do we get him on a show?
I don't know. Around. He knows everything though. He knows entire history of what's been going on and happening here.
I would like to have him on. I would like to have the E-Lion on, as I mentioned to you. Apparently, you asked for his.
We wouldn't even do.
I watched one of his channels, and he had on his desktop, as he was reviewing comics, which were really well done, by the way. He had the exact copy of Ghost in the Shell that I have. The Max, it's like everything he was the comics he was reviewing, talking about, just happened to be the exact edition that I had of those comics.
We also talked about those comics too, but he actually, I think he mentioned some of that stuff before us too. I mean, I know I mentioned it in a time frame before him, but he started talking about it before we mentioned it.
He was one of the last guys to show up on our 8chan board and actually start making posts being like, why do these guys, it was the why are they so dumb thread, which now gone, I think we have archived, but it was specifically about how people in Comicsgate would whine about some SJW creator. The SJW creator would bash them, and then they'd be like, we're buying your comic though, why are you insulting us? And then keep buying the comic, and then keep being shocked when the SJW creator keeps attacking them. It's like, just stop buying it. By the way, another thing I want to mention about the whole gay marriage thing is I do want to say that I do feel that gays shouldn't be able to get married, but I also think that straight people shouldn't be able.
I remember it was Maddox. I remember reading a Maddox article.
You're at least laying down a standard.
It was Maddox himself who said that. It's like, I'm gay. I don't want to get married. Maddox talking about how he was gay. Maddox is gay. But he was talking about, it's like,
it's just smiling out.
Everyone want to get married, especially nowadays. And it's like, wow, Maddox is really right. Maddox has a good point.
But that was 15 years ago too.
Actually, not insane. Yeah, this was a very long time ago. This was the Old Man Murray days.
Yeah, remember the early 2000s of the internet? Boy, what a classic.
I was following Maddox's website back on the Neverhoods. That'd be 1997 or 6. We would all pass around his.
Way back.
He did one of the funniest things I'd ever seen was when he would grade children's art.
Yeah, that's right.
Did you ever see that?
Oh yeah, that was funny.
It was just so funny. He's
See, that's the thing is that it's like he used to be fun. I mean, that's why Dick did a show with him because hey, Maddox used to be funny.
I wish I could be Dick.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, Dick
I don't.
You should be on a show with Dick.
And that's another thing with the tension, right? I'm friends with Nick Rekeita. Nick Rekeita is friends with Tug. I'm so with Yellowflash, and I'm not friends with EBS, and all these cross things is I'm friends with Maddox and Dick. I've grown a lot closer to. I can't even say the words. I'm going a lot closer to Masterson.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have gone maybe a little more in one direction that will not
I
be
just didn't want a certain comics group to clip that and just spread it everywhere in the name of good business and saving comics.
Hey, Maddox, did you see what he said about this?
What is it that Dick calls him? Mad Cucks?
Yeah.
Well, there's a character named Mad Cucks. Here's the thing. Rekeita apparently was really shook by us implying.
This is why I can't have friends, by the way.
Yeah. First of all, fuck friends. Friends are for faggots. But but the thing is that apparently Rekeita was really shook that I was implying that he's in Ethan Van Sciver's pocket, but he's simping for Ethan Van Sciver, and he made excuses. There's no getting around.
Look, I know that Nick, he does want to eventually crowdfund a book, which I am 100% pushing him on and support. To that end, I don't know if he's friends with Ethan because he needs Ethan's support, or if he really likes the guy because Nick's only said positive things about Ethan to me. So
I don't get that. I just don't.
I don't get it either. But I'm just saying.
I don't understand being friends with Tug or Yellow Umbrella, as we call him, because that's what this was actually about.
If you want to say you're friends with Hitler, or that there's positives for Hitler,
or that you think Stalin is a cool guy.
Yeah, I have had private conversations with Yellowflash, and he comes off as a regular guy to me. I don't get why he
didn't. Ethan come off as a regular guy at some point, though.
Yeah.
When I did my live stream with Ethan, before that, he had DM'd me and asked me if we should have Nick Rekeita in the back
to mediate.
No, just in case I said something outrageous and accused him of several crimes.
Outrageous!
But he asked Nick to wear if he could wear the white hat.
Yeah, I know, right? It was something outrageous. But yeah, he wanted.
He looked like he was going to sell Twizzlers or something.
he wanted Nick on standby to bring on to the stream. Yeah, and I'm like, why?
Yeah,
well, if we didn't do anything wrong, why do we need
telling me to shut up?
Lawyer?
Alfonso Prouty's telling me to shut up.
Oh yeah. No, he's telling you to talk over us as we talk over you. It's how our show works. People.
Good luck.
I'll try to be quiet. I hate talking over everybody, and I do it on everybody's show.
Hey, Doug,
we do it even more.
I know that you want something from me.
Sherry.
You think I have money. Let me tell you that you're mistaken. What I have is a certain set of skills.
Particular set of skills. Get ready for the Thunderdome.
I have a particular set of skills that make me a nightmare for somebody like you.
I guess that's pretty cool then.
That was heartfelt.
Yes.
Take it.
A little bit more heartfelt if I could actually remember what the fucking quotes were. My
brother's really drunk today, but apparently today's some kind of holiday.
Some kind of holiday or something. I know I quoted this accurately to a girl over the internet that I sexually harass on a regular basis.
Well, no, you don't, because Angel
was not only very offended by it, but she was particularly offended because she actually recognized it.
Oh wow!
She's like, "Oh, I remember a quote from Taken to 3."
I think you drunk mumbling quotes from Taken should be a show in and of itself.
That's going to be our new upcoming segment.
He talks. I can't even imitate you guys. I know you say didn't instead of didn't. He didn't even. He did.
Hello, P-E-L-L-O.
When I was on 8chan. Oh, what a shocker! You guys were on 8chan.
As a matter of fact, I used to draw comics on 4chan back in the 2000s and shit.
Tech keyboard.
Yeah, the Okaki board. Jim Tuner apparently doesn't like Nick though. But what we were mentioning at first was Yellowflash. Yellowflash did some kind of massive, like intensely copious Maximus video today. That people were like, oh, they mentioned you and he was just freaking out. He was really shook apparently. And so I go to the video and it's just gone. And it's like, oh, I guess he was so shook, he unshook. And it's just fucking.
He vanished the video because you guys have 300 subs.
Yeah. He's afraid of our massive 300
He was
subs.
moving up and down all around.
I'm at 311 now. I hit 311 today.
Oh,
what?
I hit 311 today.
You're like a band.
Favorite band.
Yeah.
Ska sucks.
So everyone in
Hey, I like
GG is horrified at these 4 channels between you and Preston. They have a couple hundred subs. They're like, what is happening?
They have 10 times the subs we do, and yet massively shook.
But they should be.
But it's like, what was confusing me was Yellowflash was like, he was like, what's happening with Comicscape? What happened to the American dream? And I was like, what did we even say about this guy? I've never watched a single Yellowflash video in my entire life.
I can't stand to watch them.
The same for Yellow Umbrella or
Umbrella Tug, Rub and Tug guy.
Yeah, Rub and Tug, whatever the fuck. To be honest, I've never been able to tell the difference between either of them, and yet for some reason they're really shook by us in our mom's basement, in a homeless shelter in our mom's
rising up, fucking coming up from our mom's basement.
Yeah, fucking from straight out of Philadelphia, underneath the water table. So every time it rains, our computers are just under. They're just
water cooled.
Floating in they're naturally water cooled, so that's helpful. Sure. I guess anyone paying off I want to say thank you to Doug for pitching in yesterday, helping to pay some more of the computer fund at
here to help,
putting your money where your mouth is, and also that's going to really ruin people's lives.
Well, and you guys are in a tough spot, and I think people in tough spots, we're here to help each other on the internet, especially guys that are creating comics and trying hard to work their way up.
I just wrote some ideas. I actually technically wrote some actual scripts for 1-page long comics.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to have him add those to the comics I was making that I presented on Preston's channel last week.
These could be script readings.
Yeah, we could do script readings just without even the writer circle thing. We could just, in fact, we've been doing that for years, since like going back to 2017.
So guys, wait, there's a PayPal at the bottom of the page. You guys should throw him a couple bucks. PayPal. He's on welfare. He's like Good Times. He's like those poor sitcoms in the late 70s, like eating.
On Patreon is people who are struggling to just
Gatreon
and are creative.
Gatreon. But yeah, here's the thing. If you want to donate to money like as a tip jar on Patreon, you could do that. If you want to donate to our PayPal as a tip jar, you can also do that. The thing is, what happened was my computer died like a few weeks ago. I bought a new one, and so I'm kind of
computer old.
Yeah, it was really old. And my brother's computer is actually, I think, a year older, and his is still working.
Because these guys can't even eat, and they're buying computers.
Yeah, computers are more than eating.
That's what credit's for.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I'm doing.
Which is evil.
That's what I did is I bought the computer on credit because it was like, oh, we're making okay money 10 years ago. 10 years later, it's like, oh, I guess we never made the money back.
Yeah, we never paid that off. We never quite got it. Well, I mean,
we were doing good money, and then things got harder and harder. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, I'm still trying to work on paying this computer off. Technically, 10 years later, I'm still doing that.
How can you not be rich when it's 3% unemployment? I mean, not now. I mean, now you're screwed.
Well, yeah,
but like for the last 3 years, gold was falling out of the sky.
Making 10 years ago, was there somebody else in charge who was perhaps not so friendly to the economy?
Yeah, there's aspects of that. But I mean,
we got 3 years of somebody who didn't want to destroy the American economy. And then we got the coronavirus.
Yeah, the other aspect of that, though, is we're not actually telling anyone most of the truth. It is true that my computer died and I had to buy a new one on credit, and so I'm still paying off the credit for the new computer. So I could use a little help.
Not lying.
My beloved Miss TenNapel and I, we send you guys snacks.
Yeah, you sent us food, and that was awesome.
We ate all of that.
Yeah, yesterday.
Maybe we'll have to put another box together.
Yeah, well, I think We're actually getting close to paying off this computer already, and so we're starting to.
How much do you have left? So you can tell the audience how much you have left.
It was like an $800 computer, and it's a pretty decent rig, and I have like half of that left to pay off.
We're looking at about $400. You got to raise, guys. There's the.
We don't even need $400 though. If I just get like another 100 or 200, and a couple people have already donated,
I want a new computer. Mine is currently working. That doesn't mean that it's going to keep working forever.
Someone says, "Do you accept gift cards?" I would actually, to be perfectly honest.
And you know what? $400 in Steam Wallet gift card.
Yeah, Steam gift card, cool. But again, PayPal's the easiest. You know what? I do have a Coinbase wallet thing. If anyone has Bitcoin,
you and Mike Miller. Mike Miller, did you hear that? Send him.
So I have to decide between backing the Shaka comic and donating to your PayPal. Is that where I'm at this week?
Nobody has to donate a giant chunk. You don't have to donate
$5,
$100. You don't even have to donate $5 if you just give like $1 or something. That's all we need. We're not asking for. We're not being like, oh, you only gave us. I'm not going to pull a Stefan Molyneux. Like, you only gave us $1. One gave us 50.
Well, it wasn't one of those $25, CG books. It was actually at a reasonable price point.
Oh my! Are you making fun of my $25?
No, heck no.
My piece of furniture I sell for $25.
Oh no, that gorgeous thing! I was so happy with my Earthworm Jim. I can't wait to get my Bigfoot Bill one and 2
this week. Ooh, on Bigfoot Bill 1 and 2, the reprint. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm getting both books. So you got my 50.
Thank you.
You're not charging $200 for a cardboard box, though. I don't know.
No, full of mostly air, by the way. My cardboard box is full of book.
Yeah, it's a little too full of book. I mean, it's like over 150 pages. You got to keep that down to like 48 or less.
Yeah,
trash pulp paper.
160 pages. That's killing me.
Yeah, you offer way too big a book. Way too long.
I believe in epics. I just think that's my brand. I don't think anyone else has to funnel their stuff through this thing, but I'm going if people are spending $25 on a book.
I believe in the complete opposite of epics. I love A. Wyatt Mann's comics, and I think we should be copying off that concept.
Well, that's what I think. That's what we're going for. We'll probably only charge like $1 for our. We're doing a book about Comicsgate. Most of it's done already. We're basically still throwing together ideas, and we're kind of looking for an artist and money. But what I wanted to do first was at least get most of this computer paid off. So if anyone donates a little money, that can get us closer.
Are you willing to talk about your CG comic? What angle you're doing?
Vikki was actually there when we read off. I did 10 pages of it. I can read it again right here if you want me to. It was quite enjoyable.
I might still have my copy.
Don't read your shitty script to me. Tell me about it. Give me the pitch.
Well, it's a bunch of sort of
vignettes. Let's call them vignettes.
Vignettes.
Vignettes
is what I prefer to call them. I mean, I am hooked on phonics after all. But it's a bunch of phonics.
I'm hooked on ebonics.
Phonics. Worked for me.
Didn't.
Literally. But that's what it's a lot of 1 page, a few 2-page things, and then there's also the Orange Man comic, which was 4 pages. So it's a bunch of mini comics. Some of them are about Comicsgate. Some of them are making fun of Ethan or other people. And then the Orange Man comic is it was from a post I wrote on 8chan like in 2015 called Autopsy of a Comic Book Movie Sales Bump. And it was just a big green text. It's like, some loser writes a dumb comic book. The studio buys, sells rights or whatever.
That's me. That's me. The studio buys my rights.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it makes a comic and the studio buys the rights.
So this is 1930s rights.
Yeah, in a way it's like
literally like a Superman type comic.
It's like where somebody takes a really dumb idea for a comic, turns it into an interesting movie, and then someone goes and buys the comic, and then the comic is just grade Z dog shit. And that's so it's like a 4-page little comic about that. I didn't actually even come close to summing it up, which I guess that's the part of the tease.
That's a good pitch. Good pitch.
The elevator pitch, if you will. And again, I read all of this on Preston's channel for the writer's room. If anyone
So
wants.
if people want Thomas to get to work on this, look downstairs there. There's the SWC mod1 at Gmail, PayPal. Throw him some dough to pay off his computer to get to work.
Yeah. In fact, you donated
a computer, but paying it off on credit. It's the worst thing in the world. I hate it. It's usury. Usury is a bad thing.
It's for sure bad. It's a little hand rubbing.
But if you're right wing, alt right, you should be against usury. You should be wanting to support us.
Apparently, Vikki is Preston's mom. Says Doug. Nick
Wait, Vikki, did you know that?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. I would have had to have been prepubescent at the time. But
you mean like Tug's wife may have.
may have been.
But apparently, that's
we don't judge, but they
Not
judge.
judging.
So we'll allow them to judge themselves.
You know, as Jim Norton would say, turnabout is fair play. That's what I always like to say. But apparently, where Preston gets his money is from Vikki.
I guess so. It's nice being rich, by the way.
Good job. That explains why your dog has blue hair. But
yeah, how much money do you have to give your dog blue hair?
Is your friend? Why attack him, dude? So yeah, why have you been attacking Nick Rekeita? You said he was a gay wad and all that stuff. What's going on with you?
When did I attack Nick Rekeita?
Said he was involved in the rackets.
yeah. You said he was Nicky Rackets.
Nicky Rackets.
He was in the Chicago mob.
Nick and I have been friends for a long time, and we will remain friends for a long time.
For Nick, I have to say to you.
For Evs. But this is the thing on the internet. Guys are allowed to say whatever. And it does hurt me to hear stuff about my friends. But, you know, Nick's friends with Tug. He hears me talk about him.
Why?
Knocking his own mailbox over. I don't know. Maybe he has no taste in friends as exhibited by his friendship with me.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, but it is weird that everyone expects everyone to get along. I think it's in normal life. People just don't like each other. And people just don't like everyone.
I'm not saying Nick shouldn't be friends with Tug. I'm saying, why is he friends with Tug? I don't really see what benefit.
They hung out at Bubba Fest.
More, but he doesn't understand that Tug isn't really famous.
Doug, why did you say you were going to powerbomb Nick Rekeita at SummerSlam? Because it's summer. I assume that's part of the answer. But
I don't even understand these chats. Why do you say you're going to powerbomb?
Do you not know
Nick?
what SummerSlam is?
I don't even know what a powerbomb is.
Oh my goodness!
Put him in the crippler.
Vikki knows about this. But like who was it who put his wife in the crippler and his son in the crippler?
Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit put his wife, son in the crippler and then put himself in the crippler.
He put himself in the crippler.
Powerbomb Nick Rekeita at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I would do a pile driver. I know that move. I know pile driver.
Hey, check it out.
Fake Preston.
Pocket Jack's Comics doesn't have a profile pic for some reason.
I wonder.
People attack your friend Nick.
I can't believe Preston would say this.
It's not.
Preston, why would you say that? Why would you drum up this drama, Preston?
Why?
Personally, I think Preston's worse than Ethan.
Why?
At this point.
What is the difference?
Preston, has attacked his friends almost as much as Ethan Van Sciver, like when he attacked Mike S. Miller for saying that Pride's that was just Ethan. That was just Ethan.
Why? What is the difference between Ethan Van Sciver and the American flag?
Do you know? You don't know? We said this like 20 times on our show.
The American what?
It would be wrong to urinate on the American flag.
I wish I could take credit for that one.
Yeah, it's a Neil Hamburger joke.
If Ethan was on fire in Postal, I wouldn't piss on him. Just saying.
You know, I think that's
put him out by pissing on him.
I think that's not very nice. I think that's cruel. Personally, I would say if Ethan's teeth were on fire, I would piss on his stuff.
Just like that wonderful.
The only problem is Ethan might.
Oh no, he's gonna bust his stitches. Come on.
I know you're gonna break my face. You're gonna break my face.
That was actually you were mentioning the healing power of showering apparently really fixed it up today.
Warm water.
Yeah, I had the
I'm not
healing.
going to take such a long shower this day.
This thing was an oozing mess the last 2 days, and now look at this. It's getting a little.
Nice.
We're
Yeah,
getting
it
there.
cleared up a lot.
We're getting cleaned up a little bit.
Maybe it's the extra cancer is healing you.
I mean, look, yeah, I know, but by the power of cancer.
Yeah,
I mean, this right here, that's all. That's not oozing at all. That's like
That's nice.
it's shiny
freaking
earthworm.
good.
Shiny earthworm.
Although you look weird shaven. Even this much.
It's pretty gross too. It's like uneven shaving.
Yeah,
Dude, I shaved the patch right here.
Yeah.
And the skin, I can't feel anything on it. So I'm shaving myself and it feels like I'm just cutting the hell out of myself. I'm like, I can't feel that.
That would actually be horrifying.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
The first day after, did you feel that weird burning kind of? It's not really pain, but it just feels like it's all burning up underneath the skin.
No, all of these nerves, because they cut the skin from behind and then moved it up. So they severed all the nerves and now it's all weaving back together. So all the nerves are just like firing. It's just
it's a weird feeling, isn't it?
Painkillers come in.
I did not take painkillers today for the first day, but I was on I hopped up on.
Yeah.
We saw you in the car on the way home.
I was wasted.
You were flying high.
I was like, I love everybody.
I love cookout.
I love
Cookout.
When we were on with Preston, apparently he was imbibing the pots and pans or something a little bit.
Yeah.
The pan.
Maybe he just had a PMA, a positive mental attitude. Speaking of PMA, Preston himself, though, again says you can't piss Vikki because menopause stops your
That's what happens when you get menopause is you can't
That's
piss.
the first funny thing Preston's ever said.
I know.
Preston had such a great sense of humor. That's actually funny.
All of a sudden, Preston's actually funny for a change. Whoa.
What happened?
Gigantic Hemorrhoid says, best SWGC joke, EVS is Mormon without the second M.
Yeah, that was my brother. That was all my brother.
That was all me. All me, baby.
Hey, that's Jaguar, isn't that as his robot?
Yeah.
Isn't that Jaguar from Godzilla versus Megalon?
Yeah, I think so.
My favorite MST3K episode.
Exactly. Although I remember
Godzilla does a tail slide into the monster.
That's a great. I saw that in the theater when I was in fourth grade.
I remember seeing that as a kid and feeling uncomfortable because for the entire last half hour, it's just Godzilla and Jet Jaguar getting their asses kicked.
Yeah.
By one monster. It's like that's lame.
Two monsters. It's Megalon and the thing with the knife arms and the Geordie LaForge head visor.
He's got the Geordie LaForge visor because he's blind. It makes him gay. or it makes it the visor makes him no longer gay.
Doug never answered about these people throwing hate at Nick. By the way, Nick is a faggot and he's going to jail. Doug, why do you agree with us about what I just said right now?
I agree with everything negative anyone's ever said about Nick.
I don't understand.
Doug never even Preston
wants to come to your house
about these people throwing hate at Nick.
He wants you dead. He wants your family dead. He wants to go to your
I've been
house
on Nick's show, and Nick's audience hates my guts.
Yeah,
I've been on Nick's show, and they.
One thing I'll say for Nick, he'll have you on. He'll still,
dude. That's why he's a friend. He stands by me. He doesn't say he's not precious about it. Going, hey, you guys, don't make fun of my friend. Go easy on Doug. He doesn't do that. Doug, get ready for it. I go on the show, and we have a blast, and I appreciate him as a guy.
I mean, maybe a great friend, but
I'm okay with people tearing into him. I'm okay with his audience tearing into me.
I'm also okay with tearing into him.
I'm also okay with tearing into you, Doug.
Absolutely, you're allowed.
Yellowflash had your back when everything with EVS. Well, that's why Doug said he's still friends with Yellowflash.
Yeah, and I do. I still recognize that. I appreciate that about Yellowflash. Yellowflash hates all these guys, and I'm fine with that. I just. You know what? Everyone isn't going to get along with everyone.
If Yellowflash Yellowflash really wanted us to trash him, he would have to get us to watch his videos, because that's when it would actually
That's
start.
a real challenge.
We haven't even said anything about stupid Yellow Umbrella. I don't know anything about the guy. All I know about him is what other people have said. Other people have dug into it, like,
One thing I know about him, he wears this dumb idiot retard mask.
Well, yeah, that's not
like, oh, look at this. I've got a mask. I'm wearing a hockey mask. It looks like it's corporate property.
Yeah, I have a problem with Tug because he sent my personal DMs to EVS. So any adult man who takes a private conversation and sends it to another guy, it's not that I'm not going to sit here and freak out on you all day. Tug's just a regular guy, and it's open season on making fun of him and having a little fun.
Oh, sure,
it's not meant in hate. I do think he's dark and greasy.
A little.
That's just my opinion.
It's more like pity at this point. It's not. There's no hate, because I just feel sorry for these guys, but they are actively against, new creators. I mean, I think the best examples actually are Sashi and George Alexopoulos. Because it's like they're both of them really good artists, really good work, and all Ethan did is have his fucking goon squad attack them, which, one of the former members is coming out and saying, yeah, we attacked these people, we attacked Nurkish, we went after them. Yeah, Praetorian was doing that, and I mirrored that video of him talking about it. Mecha McCheese, or Jalapeno Milk is his channel name now. He did a stream with Praetorian talking about that and sort of digging into that video further.
And Praetorian's a guy, by the way, for those of you people who want to reform like Praetorian.
Yeah, it shows anyone could do it. Because the thing is, like,
he came to me privately and said, I need to apologize to Sashi.
Mm-hmm.
I need to apologize to her, because she had him blocked. And I reached out to her, and I just told Praetorian, I go, I don't know if I've met many men who have done what you do. Like,
yeah, there aren't any really.
He was one of the trashiest guys in War Campaign, and he shows that you can turn it around, gain trust, be a normal human being, and move on.
Slandered by the rest of War Campaign as, oh, he was actually the only bad guy in the movement.
He apologized to me too, personally. Yeah.
I can understand being trashy. I don't understand crossing that line and then crossing back over. Like, I would never cross over the line where I would need forgiveness. Usually it's something simple.
But if you do it, at least, that's certainly, but like Praetorian's one of the guys who is like, no, I'm not ever going to fucking, overlook the shit. But then there is something to be said for legitimate, contrition and forgiveness when somebody actually, like, making themselves vulnerable and saying, here's all the bad shit I did, and I actually feel bad about it, and I was wrong to do it. To admit that, to the point where have you ever seen the movie Flight?
Which one's that? That sounds familiar.
Denzel Washington is a pilot.
No,
it's basically based on the Sully Sullenberger. It's based on that.
A very fictionalized version, like he sort of crash lands a plane to save people. But the thing is, in the movie, he's an alcoholic. He was drunk at the time, and he does this crazy maneuver to sort of get the plane back to sort of gliding so they can crash. And so then they are doing this big investigation. And the people who are like running the airline are like, okay, you're a total drunk. You're about a piece of shit, almost as much as Tug's daughter. But no.
Well,
no. Where does his daughter come? Here's
because Tug's sock is in the.
Well, Tug
or Ashley's sock is in the chat.
By the way, as we've pointed out, Ashley's fucking in there. But as we've pointed out, we actually have nothing against Tug's daughter, and we shouldn't even know she exists.
I don't know anything about his daughter, but he is the one who made her a part of his whole character.
Yeah, and again,
show.
We called her an incel, and they took that seriously. They're insulting his daughter, and it's
3 years old, as far as I know.
She doesn't even exist, as far as I know.
Loser.
I
don't know anything about her, but the fact that I said that made them piss blood.
It's only.
I'd piss blood if someone came after my kids.
I think I would rather piss blood. But
I would too. But somebody would have to be coming after my kids.
We also didn't actually come after Tug's kids.
know their name.
He presented his daughter as a target.
They already heard the names of their own children. I don't even know them because I care so little, but I know that they care because they're so upset.
What you want my docs? I'll send it.
They come pre-offended.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, that's the thing, is that they were offended about it before we said anything. So I don't. To us, it doesn't matter because we're not interested in building a channel or getting subscribers. Fucking,
they were offended.
I don't give a shit.
Before I even knew that they had kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, then guess what? Guess what the next target is?
Nobody should know they have kids. That's the thing, is that there's no reason for anyone. I've never watched a single video.
I wrote in my new upcoming comic about them. You should not be introducing your kids by holding them by the throat in front of a fucking camera and shaking them around and being like, "This is my child." Don't do that.
Don't attack this child as he's just shaking.
Do not attack this child as they hold it by the throat up in front of a webcam.
Yeah, painting a bullseye. Look at this bullseye I painted on my own daughter. Don't you dare hit it.
And they want to blame me for this, for making fun.
I hope it gets taken away. I hope Doug's daughter gets taken away and put into foster care soon. Yeah, it's going to happen sooner or later. I hope it happens soon. But
this is a person who should not be a genetic success.
Yeah, I feel bad. I legitimately feel bad for her. I feel bad for Doug's daughter, though, and I hope that she gets the help she needs.
Believe me, I know some other kids who are being raised by complete utter failures, and I'm like, this child probably would have grown up better if they weren't raised by such a basket case.
I hope that she has a better life, even though she's a gay incel.
I sure hope that her dad gets killed horribly in a horrible fiery plane crash.
No. If he was in a fiery plane crash, I would piss on him to put out his ass.
I piss on him to put out.
Well, I don't wish death on anybody. Let me just put that out there before Tug is suddenly saying that I did.
Such a big person.
I have to get that out there, man. He's been riding my
he has a thing for you
since he just started to market his book off of me.
Yeah.
And SJW Captain America. That was and he started that a couple of days before he put his campaign started. And so
his book is largely a grift. It looks okay to me. I didn't get it, but just the knock your own mailbox thing. I don't know anything about what actually happened or didn't happen. I just don't get that. That just seemed weird. Didn't he say it was Renfamous?
Or one of it was Ren or one of her toadies.
If I walked down the street and found my mailbox on the street, the last thing I would think of is someone in Comicsgate. I would never just
if my mailbox had been wrapped up with duct tape for over a year and it fell over, I wouldn't be thinking somebody came out into the middle of nowhere just to knock it over. And that was
if I was going to intimidate someone because I had their docs, usually you mail a dead cat to them or something, and you put a note on it so there's an identifier. You don't just randomly.
You leave something on their front porch. You don't.
Yeah, you don't knock a mailbox over.
No,
there's no glory in that.
Like something a kid does when they're.
Now I'm expecting about 10 dead cats being mailed to my house.
You know what people try to do is they mail the bag of dicks, the gummy dicks. They just mail the bag of dicks. That's what people tend to do. Or I don't know. Just
and I'll be talking with him tomorrow. On DA Talks with SJW Captain America.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the guy who sent Tug the gummy dicks.
I guess that's cool. To be honest, because here's the thing. It's sad that I don't have as much of a problem with the SJW, this and that, and the Spider-Man or whoever the fuck, and Renfamous, because it's like, I don't want to make friends with these people, but they're not attacked. Like, none of them actually threatened to dox fucking Nurkish. Ethan did that. In fact, Praetorian was talking about how one of the things Ethan was involved in that he had War Campaign do was feed Nurkish's docs to the SJWs so that they could then threaten him with that.
Huh.
That's what he was talking about in that.
Oh yeah,
on the stream
on the McCheese show.
And again, it's like, wow, that's
square. That's square. Square, queer. That's square.
And again, like Renfamous apparently didn't do anything with it, but all the rest of Comicsgate completely went with it. And it's like, oh no, the SJWs, and it was just Ethan and Ethan was fully coming out. He couldn't even, the mask didn't just slip, it blew the fuck off, and he was like, I had to tell Nurkish that if he doesn't bend the knee, if he doesn't become full Comicsgate, I will not protect him. And I have video of that. It's on the channel. I linked to it.
Yeah, I saw that too. That was fruity.
Because it was, I put up that clip like in 2018, and people are still unaware of it, and Ethan's still denying it. Like, we don't have video of him saying the exact opposite. Apparently, Preston wants to come in so we can debate him. But
okay, get in, Preston, get in.
Yeah,
let me in. I'll debate you effers now.
Yeah, come on, But
get him in.
Somebody else says put sketch on. Why are you saying that?
Oh, that's the newest meme, I guess, is to put sketch on.
Sketch on.
So I have a question. Did anybody here mention Tug's Twitter this evening?
Well, and he had me blocked for a year. I can't really.
Yeah, because he did tweet out he's a little upset that Doug is on your show.
Oh no!
Because let's see, Doug, eswC, and Vikkiverse are shitting on Yellowflash, whom we've barely mentioned.
Yellowflash
yeah. So wait, it gets better. It gets better.
Oh.
So apparently,
welcome to
we got all excited because we thought they were watching. None of us mentioned you, Tug. So why would you say that? And how would you pretend to know that unless you're sitting in the chat or watching the show?
Tug stirring up cockeye. I don't understand. It surprises me.
I am so shocked.
Okay.
Yes. So I guess there'll be a whole nother video tomorrow about all of us, and just giving you a fair warning.
Okay. Well, maybe now you'll.
But that's okay, because
maybe now you'll finally get some views.
You will be talking. Like I said, we'll be talking with SJW Cap tomorrow about everything that's been going on with Tug and Ashley.
SWC put Nick Rekeita on.
Yeah, I guess we could. I guess we could.
He's doing his own show right now, isn't he?
Well, he's got his own show. He's got more viewers than we do, so he doesn't.
Yeah, like 70,000 more.
Yeah, you're Nick Rekeita doesn't here.
About 80,000 more viewers than you.
Yeah, it doesn't need us. But here's the thing: that if he wanted to come on, it wouldn't be for free. He's got to pay to get on here. I mean, from now on, he could have, had.
I didn't pay the toll. Damn it! You didn't tell me. Oh shit! Now I do have to go ahead and give you money to your PayPal for the computer.
You're on.
Good lady.
Everyone has to give us money from now on. You don't actually, but still, fucking. As far as yellow umbrella Flash, which is it? Who is the guy who did the? Oh, it was
Yellowflash is the one that used to stab the comic books.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I've never had a problem.
That umbrella
That's not cringe.
I've never seen him do anything weird to me ever.
He didn't stab your books with a knife.
He did not send my PMs to Ethan like Tug did.
It wasn't just like the private messages. Is that it was one that you were saying, "Hey, let's do this together."
The Legion of Doom. It was when there was a particular bad moment in CG, and I was on another chat with Tug and Yellowflash.
This was after the Nurkish thing, right?
Yeah, I don't remember, dude. There's so many. There's so many things like the Nurkish thing over the last year. The drama, which has no place in comics, has nothing to do with comics.
It's never ending.
It's never ending.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Preston thing is they're like waving the Preston thing around. And it's like, what does this even have to do with comics? Hey, Ethan, where's your book?
The thing I do like, though, is if there's any justice at all, it's that Cecil and Malin were on a big stream angry. And these guys are the ones that said, like, every time some kind of drama came up over the last year, for which I've had nothing to do with comics, they do not care. And they would just go, did a little tapeworm get in your head? I smell the drama. This is the tapeworms doing. So I just want to know, to Cecil and Malin, to the CG audience, did I get in their head and turn them on a war campaign? Was this the tapeworm? That legendary.
That's actually a really good question, because clearly something happened. And just today, there's all this infighting and it's miserable. But it's like it's as we said, we did a video last year saying, here's how hug boxes work, and all of them always collapse by purity spiraling. Essentially, the central figures always turn on the ones outer, and then the people on the fringes are like, oh, this is bullshit, and leave. And so everything shrinks and shrinks and shrinks until eventually it just implodes. And again, I even wrote the first ever comic book about that. That's what Inevitably Doomed was about back when I ran the campaign for that, which didn't even get close to funding. But
Yeah. And I told everyone in CG before I left, I go, WC is going to be the undoing of this place, because there's not a feeling of safety by either the backers or the creators when so many of them can just get hit, and it's just all done in the name of humor or whatever. But no one, even Tug, when I say you knocked over your own mailbox, no one feels the sense of humor when they're hurt. No one does.
Or their mailbox is hurt.
Or their mailboxes are in pain because they got their head knocked off by Renfamous.
Postal gave everything.
It just, but I told Malin, I told Cecil, I told EVS, and I told Ro to his face. Not to his face, but to his Twitter face. And I just said, this is beneath comics. This is beneath comics. And now, 1 year later, Cecil and Malin are reading from my script. They're plagiarizing me. It's as if I wrote their dialogue for them.
Ooh, they're ripping me off, Robin.
Ripping me off. So it's not an I told you so moment. It's just this is kind of the way reality plays out. You have a bunch of just bad players.
Kind of I told you so moment.
Crossing the line of humor a little too often, like putting dildos on people's faces, that's just beneath. There's no play. How is that even a discussion?
It's really it's like really low grade. It's like if you want to really be bad, you got to be like SWC. But
you got to be really bad, like the SWC. You got the Incel Brothers.
Yeah, the homeless Incel Brothers.
Homeless
in a homeless basement.
We're so powerful.
Who can't even live in their own car because they don't have one.
Yeah,
have a car. Don't even have
still
it.
Somehow broadcasting.
How can we get you guys a car? I mean, come on.
Buy a car and drive.
You can get me a car. Oh wait, I'm rich. I'm Preston's mom.
I do have to ask:
right.
Are there other states where owning insurance is not illegal or whatever it is?
Or to drive around uninsured?
You can't even get a driver's license in my state unless you have insurance.
They crack down on that pretty bad.
So it's a
bullshit.
Basically, it sounds very, very hand rubby, very.
You don't even have to have a car, but if you have a driver's license in my state, you have to have insurance.
Unless you're illegal. Unless you're an illegal, then you can.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Free money.
No, we're also illegal aliens. That's why we're homeless.
You definitely get a car if you were an illegal. Actually,
illegally in the United States of America, not legally. We're somebody. I hope Tug calls the FBI on us again.
I hope he gets cancer in his face.
Yes.
I hope he gets cancer in his face. It spreads to his brain. And then in his last days, he denounces EVS and war campaign.
That sounds, in his delirium, in his delirious state, he suddenly denounces EVS and war campaign, and EVS would still take it completely personally. He'd be like, I can't believe he had the nerve to get.
He would be angry. He'd be angry at him for having cancer.
But he's already angry, so I guess it's kind of a lateral move.
Whenever he hears that anybody has cancer, he just goes and makes fun of them for having cancer.
He does get a little antsy over that one.
I don't think other people's cancer is funny. I think
I don't either.
Is funny.
Well, it's like the old saying is a tragedy is when I stub my toe, but comedy is when I fall down an open manhole and die.
Yeah.
But so apparently people are upset that they have to pay us to debate us. Here's the thing. We've debated people for free. We've debated Comicsgate for free. And all of you lost every single argument. So
yeah, we've already presented. That's the thing is, I heard somebody being like, you need to present the evidence. The evidence was presented years ago, and you people still failed to actually answer it.
Presented the evidence, the receipts, and the arguments, and not a single one of you. Ethan Van Sciver actually ran away from the argument, and his sycophant bootlick Nick Rekeita helped him as he was on his side.
If you have to have people who are defending you,
Ethan on to debate him if he was willing to come on your show.
He still can't. He's not capable of it. He still has to. He has to rise to the level of being capable of that first before we.
What if he agreed to wear the white hat?
He has to grow and advance as a human being to become capable of actually making an argument in good.
It's like debating bacteria.
Yeah,
it's like I could do that, but what's the point until I know that the bacteria is capable of holding a conversation?
That's not very fair, though. Some bacteria actually has some purpose, as opposed to Ethan Van Sciver. I'm like, I could actually believe a bacteria could put out a worthwhile comic book in less than a year. Ethan can't do that.
I'd rather read a comic book by actual bacteria than Cyberfrog.
You know, bacteria probably has a lot of interesting stories. You know what also might have interesting stories is a little thing floating around in intestines, and then at the end there's a goldfish bowl, and you answer trivia questions and stuff.
Hey. Lemmy Winks shows up.
No, what was the thing that Jim was disguised as in Villi People?
The flying blind cave salamander.
Yeah, that's right. The cave salamander,
which makes an appearance in Earthroom Jim 2.
Oh,
he wears the outfit.
Okay, so anyone who donates to our computer fund, I'm probably going to actually end up spending some of that computer fund money on getting Earthworm Jim 2 instead.
Yeah, kidding.
And that or beer or pizza,
alcohol. There's
never a car.
Alcohol. Well, who needs a car when you can?
Especially in this day and age.
Driving anyways, right?
I have a car. I don't use it too often. I walk everywhere.
Gas is cheaper than water right now.
Yeah.
I would rather buy gas than a car.
Only the thing that reduced the price of gas.
You just wish cancer on someone. How do you have the moral high ground? Well, we didn't stop anyone else from making comics.
I still have them. I can literally right there.
I've seen Michael Derrick on War Campaign. Clearly, he has a concern for the moral high ground.
Oh yeah. If you're in a group called War Campaign, you're really interested in.
I didn't name them that.
And by the way, Michael Derrick and I have had back and forths on Twitter that were very good. Also, he's a good guy.
Oh, that's pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Never heard of him. Never heard of him. Next.
He's a fellow comic creator, so
never heard of him. Next.
So as far as I guess, as far as Yellow Umbrella Flash guy,
Umbrella Tug, Piss Umbrella,
Piss Umbrella. That's apparently. I hope that doesn't become a new name. Piss Umbrella. That doesn't sound very
meme.
But I just have to say, marking out for E-celebs is not a great idea. I don't think it, because it makes you beholden to their, you don't want to be beholden to other people's mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
At least learn who you should trust. Believe me, I've gotten pretty good at that.
But also for all of you shook about how Comicsgate is in trouble and all this stuff. We told you years ago this was going to happen. So again, you should have listened to eswC. Maybe that's a good note to go out on. Good show, everyone. Thanks for coming on and slandering Nick Rekeita and fucking Yellow Umbrella.
Have a great night, everybody.
Good
night. Be good to each other.
All right.
Yeah, be excellent to each other.
Be excellent to each other.